Good afternoon, everybody. Today I wanted to talk to you about the primary grade A supply, what you do for them. Also, I wanted to talk about fuel levels. So let's jump in. When you are the primary source of supply, the main love partner in the situation, the one they settle down with, the one that they have for a long period of time, and the one that gets brutally, verbally, and in some cases physically abused on a daily basis, you get verbally abused and broke down and mistreated. Meanwhile, we stay in this relationship for years and years in most cases and support them to where it's not common for the rest of humanity to do that. And that's why they call us or label us as the primary source of supply or the grade A source supply, because we grew up in the same families as they did. And we just went on the other side of the spectrum. We wanted to be truth tellers and they wanted to be the lie like the rest. And because of that, we were the black sheep in the family, and you end up getting destroyed in your own family. So it's nothing that's unexpected. It's something that you've been groomed for and meshed into, and to some degree, until you wake up to this stuff, that's all you know. But at some point, you get broke down through the abuse over years and years, and some of us have been blessed with the opportunity to wake up to what is really going on and to walk away. A lot of times, truth tellers do typically know that this is not how a relationship should be. Although we keep falling into these traps of one right after the other once we leave the enmeshment with the family. And that's due to us being on a narcissist energy level, a narcissist vibration based on all of the enmeshment and the negative thinking that they can ingrain into your head and the falsities. When we leave the family, we end up finding a narcissistic love partner where they find us. We have the ability to recover quickly and to have a high emotional sense of self because of those things, the loyalty and the way that we are. A lot of times you're a people pleaser in a situation when you come out of enmeshment. And narcissists, they drift to you because you can supply all of their needs, and they know this, but it's unbeknownst to you. So when they talk about narcissists being unaware, I personally think that they're aware. They're at least aware of the character that they give out, that they put out, and they know it's wrong. Because when you're on a breakup with them, they are always concerned whether you are going to expose them. So you got to question, why would they be concerned with getting exposed if they're not faking? If they don't know what they're doing, then they would just carry on as if nothing was happening. But they are very concerned with you exposing them for the falsity that they are, because a lot of this is behind closed doors. You are their whole fuel matrix. 80% of it. So they don't really feel real comfortable doing what they're doing until they get, what I'm saying is they don't really have too many convictions. If they can get away with it, they will. If they can be the monster behind closed doors and nobody finds out, they don't care. The narcissist doesn't feel comfortable in the sense that they need a sense of security. And when they have a home primary source supply, then they feel very comfortable going out and getting secondary, tertiary types. They could have 4 or 5 supplies that they could be cheating on, whoever their primary source is, they could be cheating on with. And it's very hard to catch them. And nobody would believe you anyway, if you were to ever express your feelings to somebody because of the way they look out and about. Once they get the primary source, then they feel comfortable knowing that they have somebody rooted down that they can project onto. Somebody spoke about energy and fuel. Those are synonymous. But you have a high ability to regenerate more than the rest. And you're willing to give a lot of times until it's almost destructive to your own nature as the primary source. An unawoke primary source that doesn't understand what's going on will allow themselves to be, they steal energy by getting you to react instead of responding, because they have hijacked your emotional field. And then you get to a place to where you feel like that they're injured individuals and you want to help them get better. You want to love them to death, and that will fix them at some point. So they get you to believe that you're an injured individual that needs love and that you can fix them. They play right into it, especially if they want to hoover. So you will run faster and faster, especially after they have devalued you and gotten to a place where you're getting breadcrumbed and cheated on. And if you grew up in these families, your intuition is being run over because you were taught to do as you're told and to not to use your intuition. So you have to learn to hone that. You know nothing about narcissism initially, taught to react instead of responding, and then you were taught to be a people pleaser. These are all ways that the narcissist grooms you to become primary supply when you're a child and to take the daily abuse as if it's nothing new. And that's not right. So you are there to absorb all of the negative energy that the narcissist is out doing when they're not with you, or even when they're with you. They project it onto you by getting you into an argument. It could be something very petty, and it could happen on a daily basis. Usually it's a daily basis once they break you down. You could have been an independent individual, and now you're anxious, paranoid, or depressed, or all of those. And you are now a complete codependent to the narcissist. You're addicted to them because you're caught up in that hormonal trauma bond where it messes with your ups and downs, your highs and lows. So you need another hit of the narcissist's validation. You end up getting caught up in coercion, which is where they order you around and you take care of it. You do as you're told, just like you did when you were in your family unit as a child. You're walking on eggshells. And when they have you in that state, especially if you have finances or children, loans and things involved with them, they will threaten you, and you will be in such a state of fear of your whole world crashing down on you at any moment, because their emotions are all over the place, and they never want to have a conversation to deal with anything because they can't go inside. And a lot of times they know what they're doing, so they're playing games with you. So they will rage out on you if and when you try to go any deeper into a situation to try to heal it. And because of that, you will be in fear of even questioning them or trying to get to the root of an issue, an underlying issue that's never been dealt with, but you've argued about it several hundred times. A lot of times they will rage out, they will leave you and go cheat on you and use that as an excuse, and then come back happy because they just duped you by cheating on you and doing something behind your back, unbeknownst to you. These are ways that they get back at you for some sort of narcissist injury that you had you knew nothing about, that you may have caused. They gaslight themselves, they gaslight you. I mean, when you catch them in a lie, they will double down on it and lie over top of the lie, over top of the lie. And at some point you will end up either believing them or accepting it and continuing on, just try to keep peace in the house. You don't know that gray rocking helps and that they're stealing your fuel or your energy. But the thing is they cannot validate themselves because all their validation comes from the outside. And because it comes from the outside, there's no inner self. And whatever is telling them what to do is backwards, completely backwards from humanity. The moment you love them or tell them that you love them, they hate you. And when you refuse to respond to them, they're completely in love with you. Well, they're not in love with you, but that's how they act. They need you. And they will answer your call on first ring. And it's all an act to get fuel. It's all a chess match. And a lot of times, because we're always telling them exactly what they want to hear, we're always truthful, and we've always been loyal to them and supplied their needs as much as we could. Although they become insatiable, that's why they're going to cheat on you. And they like variety, and they want your subservience. It's almost like you're like the store, the department store, and they're the customer, and the customer's always right. I mean, that's how the relationship is. It's totally one-sided. There's no reciprocity. I mean, it's always negative for you, and very, very little do you get breadcrumbed any kind of validation, love, or what looks like love or a caring behavior, because they don't feel empathy. And because they are the way they are and they need outside validation, they have no inner soul, it seems. Their spirit man is almost gone. And whatever is telling them what to do is negative. It's always negative. It's always destructive to you and to anybody good in their life. That's why your finances get bad right away, and a lot of bad things come your way if you're with these individuals, because they're always doing so much evil. And because you are connected to them, they will get you sick, and you will reap part of their harvest if you don't break away from them and refuse consent. They have to flip energy with you. They have negative energy that when you do bad things, for instance, you get stressed out and you feel bad, you feel horrible. It's kind of, disgraceful, right? And so what do you do after that? A lot of times you would repent, and then you try not to do it again, right? You would have a constant effort to make sure that it just never happens again, because you hated the way you felt, and it wasn't good to whoever you did it to, and it wasn't good to yourself either. Well, the narcissist does these evil things every day, and then they come home and they can't process that negative energy. They refuse to process it because they have told themselves that they're perfect and they can do no wrong. So why would they need to get forgiveness? Why would they need to repent? Why would they need to turn from evil ways if they're, in their own mind, a glorious, most good-hearted individual? You're the bad person, supposedly. So what they do is they come home and they have this negative energy, and they got to fling it on you. They got to throw it on you. They got to make you the evil one. And so they come home, start an argument with you, and your energy switches. When you open up and react to them, it switches energy. You end up accepting their negative energy. A lot of times they will blame you, and you will just accept it. They also mimic you. When they copy you, it's to resonate with you and get on your level, so that they can get on your vibration level. You'll accept energy that's not yours, and then they will take your energy and they will walk away happy. And you'll walk away carrying the burden of their negative energy, and you'll have to burn it off. And so what happens a lot of times is they go out and they're happy. Everybody enjoys their company because they're able to reset that mask with your energy. And you are walking away with their energy, and you have to burn off that negative energy. So a lot of times you can be annoyed, frustrated, or you could get upset out in public, and then they will do things to get you to get upset out in public because they've already started to smear your name in the relationship. So when you pop off in public or with their friends, when they trigger you or they needle you or they cause this reactive response, they know it would work if they say certain things, and you've been passionate about helping them, and they refuse to want the help, and then they will trigger you in some of those areas out in public. And then when you get frustrated and you say something smart, or you get frustrated or annoyed, then everybody thinks you're the bad person. But it's their fuel that you're wearing, that you accepted, that you knew nothing about, and you're walking around with on a daily basis. It's very unfair, but it's almost like you don't know. Until you wake up, you don't know. And to avoid giving your fuel away, to regulate their emotions. It's not your job to regulate somebody else's emotions. You should never have to do that. And so when they use your energy to get secondary and tertiary supply, to line up a bunch of flying monkeys, because they're a wicked witch. So they line up all these soldiers that help them out, and they build this whole fuel matrix around your energy level because it's good fuel. And so the truthful fuel, innocent fuel, gives the narcissist a lot of power. They want to keep you when they have you because you're hard to find. There's not a bunch of highly empathetic people that have that type of fuel. Especially then they got to be unawoke now, because the awoke ones will see it and they will walk away like we are now. But if you're unawoke, you will go into another relationship because you're going to be constantly knocked down by whoever other narcissist you were with before this one. And because you don't know what's going on, you will walk yourself and people please yourself right into another narcissistic relationship. And they will knock you down to a codependent state, so you will want to be with somebody as well, just like the narcissist. Except you're the innocent one, and you're taking the brunt of all their sin. And you're Where you're at fault is you do enable it. But a lot of times it's a generational curse that when you wake up to, you break, and didn't do anything. You were born into it, and because you were born into it, you have a price to pay because somebody in your genetic background caused this curse, and it goes to the third and the fourth generation, and it can perhaps perpetuate past there if nobody changes. But you are the changer. You are the one that brings straightening to the situation because you put your faith in God. And so you need to, you got to learn to respond and keep track of your emotional field. Don't let people, if you just respond to them, they can't steal your energy. And that's one reason how they know that you're going to be leaving them eventually, is if you start gray rocking them. That's what gray rocking is. When you start gray rocking them because you're waking up, the last thing you want to do is tell the narcissist that you know what they are, but you want to set your ducks up in a row so you can get the heck out of there and not be completely destroyed, because they're abusive in every which way, including your finances. They will leave you with nothing if you leave it up to them. But the first thing you'll start doing is just not reacting and very little response when they start to act up in the future. And then they can't throw their energy off on you because you're not opening up your aura, your energy field, for them to switch with you. So they'll have to do it to somebody else. But eventually when you leave, because you've gotten to that place and that point, and you leave the narcissist and heal, the narcissist's whole fuel matrix will fall to pieces, because without your fuel, they're nothing. That evil that they are showing to just you is the evil that they're going to have to show out there in public. And that nice squeaky clean mask they're wearing is not going to be squeaky clean anymore because they're not going to have your fuel. And a lot of times what they find next is a narcissist that they fall into a trap with. And you can't really switch energy when you're two narcissists. They're both doing evil things. But what the energy is your traits. They knock you down to the ground. They throw their traits on, their fuel from and they steal your traits, your mannerisms, your personality, your charisma. I hate to use the word charm because it kind of sounds evil to me, like it's a spell. But if you have, in a good sense, charm, they're going to take it and they're going to wear it. That's what happens when you switch energy with them and they walk around with your fuel and they turn you into what they look like on the inside is what you look like on the outside. You're depressed, you're anxious, you're not resting well, and you're sick from all the neurological symptoms that occur. You're ruminating, you can't concentrate, you have narcissistic fog, IBS. Some people get autoimmune diseases. But the first thing you could do is hone your own intuition. Pray and fast, because these guys are evil, y'all. And get as far away as you can from them. And go no contact, because fuel for the narcissist is also having sex with somebody, because that opens your aura wide open. And it's a form of consent as well. So when you have sex with somebody, you come in a covenant with them. So a lot of times narcissists, if they can't get you to react and switch energy with you, then they want to put you in fear, because when you're in fear, it brings your vibration all the way down to the ground. And then you're on a narcissist vibration as well. So you want to find ways to relieve that stress so you're not in fear. You want to walk by faith and not by sight, and you want to try to understand that it's going to be okay and take moment to moment till you get to a healed state. It will happen. It will take time though. But then they will come to have sex with you if nothing else works, because they can switch energy with you that way as well and keep you bonded to them. But the longer you get away from them, the more healed up you get. So in the very beginning, when you go no contact, they don't really care too much because they have several sources of supply to catch up with to make sure that they're all taken care of. So they got to make their rounds so they can keep them trauma bonded as well, or keep them in the mix, keep them satisfied, because those are the ones that They can't be a primary source because they don't have that type of value. But you don't want to be the primary source. You want to be the awoken empath that walks away and never allows this kind of stuff to occur again. So if you can give me a like, subscription, and a thumbs up, I love y'all. Till next time, peace, we out.